a Chinese resident who became a village head in Africa for 6 years. Previously, in the village, people were begging for living, but with the Chinese there, they started building houses and brought them to a different standard of living. So each of us could be the leader to bring up change to the lifestyle of the people around us. So coming to our featured speakers today, many people say that I do a lot of events, but in comparison to her, she is so much better. She has great writing skills, great hosting skills, and she's reflecting that when the first time our speaker came to Kaohsiung study group, it was just to observe and see how how it was carried through. And then the second time, she brought Sister Cai Quan, who was back then 101 years old. Now she is 104. So as this video, you can see this is the reason why I have to have her join us. I asked her, it took me about a year to convince her. So in this tea party, there's more than 120 Tzu volunteers who has been certified for more than 20 years. Not only are they sharing their thoughts, but they're also sharing their gratitude. Like Master has filled a void in her heart because her father passed away when she was 10. After meeting Master, she found that her to be just like a father figure, as well as a loving mother to everyone. So everyone gave me the courage to do what I need to do. And because of you, my life has become better and better. And so I can see here, this is Sister Cai Quan, who is 104 years old. She's also in Changhua. So every time we talk about Changhua, we think about all these things that happened there. So last year, during the end of the year ceremony, they have created these props. This is the vulture representation of the vulture peak, which is where Buddha expounded Dharma. So from here, this is what we'll be talking about today. So as you can see, when it's folded, the steps were flat, but when you lay it open, you can see it comes out at a slope, as an angle. So the stories of Buddhism were all incorporated into this stupa, and each of the layers represent each of the stories and the teachings of Buddhism. And as Master said that the images in the sutra, the people in Changhua has able to recreate them and shrink and condense everything into the stupa mentioned in the Lotus Sutra. And each of these were proportional, recreating the stories in the Lotus Sutra. So all of them have put their mind and spend a lot of effort into recreating this. And this is a representation of Tzu Chi, how through decades, everyone's dedicated and paying special attention to details. And that really brought my gratitude. So there's a lot of stories of her, but let's not take any more of her time. So now let's go into our featured speaker today. And on this class, I believe that this might be the first time she ever shared about about the work. So, like I said, she's very difficult to invite. Even though I know her for so long, it's been pretty difficult to have her join us. So previously, whenever we had the a New Year blessing on the cloud, because I used to organize that for Kaohsiung, so we would see each other pretty often. And after so many attempts to finally have her join us today in person, dear masters, the bowmasters, and all the Tzu family members joining us today on the cloud, as well as Sister Meiyun and everyone of our family here. Hope you all have a good day. I am Yuzhen from Changhua. Now, I'm not difficult to invite, but rather I'm embarrassed because there's so many talented people here today. Now, I'm very grateful for Sister Mei giving me this theme of of sharing my creativity, because each of this creativity it is a demonstration of our thoughts and our dedication to Buddhism. So on this Bodhisattva path, each of us were trying to recreate is a platform where we can demonstrate to everyone the meaning in the Dharma. As we all know, at the end of the year during these ceremonies, everyone try to recreate their learning, what they learned throughout the years to master. So through this year, we take excerpts from the parable of the pauper, and we take inspiration of what the first phrase that Buddha said after attaining great wisdom. It is that we all know that all living beings are of equal Bodhisattva natures. Our heart and with all sentient beings are no different to those of the Buddha. So really invite everyone to say that, to make great vows and to do great deeds, that everyone can be a Bodhisattva. So say it with me, that even I can become a Buddha. So all of us can become a Buddha. And as we heard that, if we say that, definitely we feel this joy within us. So I'm going to share with you a kind of a clip of doing the end of the year ceremony. So each of us is proclaiming that to be able to make great vows and carry out great deeds, that everyone can be just like Buddha. And to let go of, to learn to let go and to uphold a pure intrinsic natures. And to be diligent and live a wealthy life. as Buddha said, expounded the amazing sutra, his disciples each receive ordinations, and they're very joyful in seeking out the true enlightenment. So, as Pastor has said us, that Buddha is someone who has obtained great wisdom and has already awakened. Now, but each of us could be a Buddha in the future. So we ourselves, as long as we can awaken that inner Buddha nature, we can be a Buddha ourselves. So how do we do that? That is simple. It is just to go back and reveal the true interesting natures within ourselves. As we can see from each of each statues of Buddha we see in temples, each of them represents our inner nature, the nature within ourselves. So from great masters previously has shared that each of us is internal, that we do not disappear. We just go through each of the lives time after time. And from this picture here, who do you see? And that should be, you should be able to see yourself. So let's say it to ourselves that we're seeing ourselves in these pictures. Because we are all Buddha, and each of us have this Buddha nature. So this teaching, this belief actually came from a lineage of Dharma masters, from the Venerable Master Taishu to Master Yuzhen, and now passing down to Master Chen Yuzhen. So as we all know, each of us can become a Buddha, can be a Buddha, can obtain Buddhahood. So what this stupa actually started was inspired about our actions a year ago when we presented Master a train, and when Master said that she would love to see the stupa arise. Maybe people in Changhua were able to do it, and we've been working hard to realize that for her. So we can see here, there are 7 layers, 7 steps. So on the base, we see pictures of the vulture peak when Buddha expounded Dharma 2,500 years ago. And thinking back, where do you remember where you were back then? Were you in the crowd listening to Buddha, or you're at the base of the mountain away from the Dharma? And on the second layer, it is the Jingsi abode, because it represents the beginning, the start of the Jingsi Dharma lineage. So we share, as I share with Master, that this stupa will be built with steel reinforced concrete because it represents the threefold practices of precept, stillness, and wisdom, and that's our basis in supporting us towards Buddhahood. So as we were seeing earlier, the first layer is of the Jingsi abode, because that is where the Ciji started. Thinking back then, in the afternoon rain, when Master Chen Yuzhen found Venerable Master Yuzhen as a teacher, Master Yuzhen has given her the model for Buddhism and for sentient beings. So this and has instructed her that this is something that we must believe in and carry through. So this has been the model and the focus of her lives. So for Buddhism, she's trying to teach the Jingzi Dharma lineage, and then with for all sentient beings, it is to relieve sufferings. So for all of us that have been certified, you will receive these 4 words of Buddha heart and mission of master. As we all know that the Buddha's heart is one of great compassion, and the master's mission that is to be a living bodhisattva and realizing Buddhism among the living. As we all know that Master never really wanted to have disciples in the beginning, but after the first 3 disciples pledged to her to see Master Chen Yuzhen as a teacher, she has passed down her mission to them so that everyone will be able to work together. And from their Dharma name, each of the represents the great vows and the great affinities, as well as the great devotion in the Bodhisattva path. And from there, we can see we all pass and share the same lineage. Even until now. So the love, it's like ripples, the rings of the ripple, starting from the beginning and expanding ring by ring to the out, and creating a boundless, endless a concentric circle. And because of this thought, gave us, let's create this inspiration to create the stupa. And even though each of us may wear a different uniform, focusing and fulfilling different duties, each of us share the same heart, same center. And we all work together and share with cooperativity. So every year when we're trying to film this, we barely have time to rehearse. So it all rely on everyone's working together and within the hour. So this is this spirit was nurtured within all the time we work together throughout the year. So of course there was a lot of differentiating opinions. Everyone was saying different things. So how do we settle on the one thing? Well, then that relies on each of us seeing from each other's perspective and finding a common ground among the different differentiating opinions. And that is how we come together and creating our and presenting ourselves in a harmonious way. So just like when you're jumping rope, regardless of our different body types, the different styles, what's most important is we must be moving together on the same beat. So even when we have the same target, same focus, when we have a clear goal, then each of us can work together, just like little ants. Even though they're small, they were still able to climb a mountain. So creating this concentric circle, it is not it's to center around a goal, but not around a person. And what is in the center? That is our Dharma lineage, our Tzu Chi beliefs. And where is this person, or where is each one of us that is together into this circle? Now, of course, we see times that it may be a little bit different than expected. So this is time to remind us that how do we work together and to have that harmony. that is to bring all the everyone together and include everyone into this recreating this picture. So how do we pass down this belief? That is through our understanding, our mutual understanding of the Buddha Dharma. So through the different pictures, we would like to demonstrate our vows and our actions. So this is just a demonstration of the volunteers in Changhua were vowed to awaken themselves and awaken others. As we have seen in the Lotus Sutra, we learned that each Buddha, regardless of the year, all share the same goal, and each of them have passed down with the same thoughts and lineage. So we vow to open the stupas within ourselves and shine with the light of Buddha in the human realm.
修心自觉。好，传法脉，弘宗门要弘法，还要立身。所以呢，要怎么样传法脉、弘宗门呢？上人其实
So in the path of cultivation, we must take each opportunity to train ourselves and to awaken ourselves.
法义最重要的就是要修心、修行、修自己。 So
besides passing down the Dharma, we also must find ways to benefit others. So as Master has expected us, that each of us will be one to share the Dharma to everyone. So in order to learn how to share this Dharma, we must also first cultivate ourselves. And that is through our body, spirit, and our speech. So with our body, we do good deeds, and with our mouth, we practice good speech, and with our mind, we break our habits and afflictions.
要六道万行勤精进，才能广耀群生正菩提。而最重要的行正道、传正法，就是告诉我们失之毫厘，会差之千里。所以一定要谨守上人教导我们的方向。上人期待人人不只是修福，更要修慧，福慧两足尊，一脚踏出造福人间，更要一脚
we must practice with the 6 pyramidas.
悲智双运。
And walking on a righteous path. Any deviation can lead to great mistakes and changes from our destination. So each of our steps, it is to benefit the people and then also to open our wisdom and to continue our spiritual life. As Master has taught us that the compassion and wisdoms are like the 2 wings of a
那
bird.
在这边呢，我们
Without
看到
one
现代
another, we
佛
will
法
not be able
僧
to take
的一个
flight.
人字以人为主的屋顶，
So the
而我们
second
看到
layer
自己数
is
十年来的历史，人间
the
菩萨的
Jinsi
足迹，
Hall in
也是
Hualien.
台湾
As
400
Master
年
said
的
that
历
the
史。
Tzu
那我们
Hospital
说
is where
在
lives
这
are
个一
saved,
福
and
会
Jinsi
里，
Hall
好
is
从
where our
本来
spiritual
的
lives
金
are
丝金舍， 一
preserved.
直到花
So
莲金丝堂的一个成立，
from
因为呢，就
the
是告诉我们
motifs
福
in the
会要运
eaves,
行。所
we
以
can
呢，在
see
前面的生活
representation
菩
of
提
Buddha,
课程
Dharma,
的
and
一个桥
Sangha,
段呢，就设
and
计了
it
一个从
also
火车
a
的
short
我们一起来
excerpt
看这一
of
段。
the recent 400-year histories in Taiwan, as well as bear witness to the
各位
four
旅客
missions
您
of
好
Tzu，
车次3344
So each
由
of
宝
these
山包海线
relief
前往佛
is
陀
to
庙
remind
前的
us
四
that
季
compassion
福
and
会
wisdom
双修号列
must
车
work
即
together.
将进
So let me
站，
share with
请
you
您收拾
a
好
couple
您的
years
习
ago
气，
of
提起您的导
how we
心，带
represented
着慈
that
悲
in
喜
a,
舍，准备
a
由
train.
利益圣月台上车。
这是我们一个退场的桥段。
祝你莲花心恩静，直转烦恼扬慧明，妙法莲花心大圣，自度度人济苍生。
火车进站喽，来哦，大家赶紧上车喽！
各位旅客您好，欢迎搭乘本次列车。本列车由花莲静思精舍出发，中途停靠站有彰化、慈善、医疗、教育、人文、国际赈灾、骨髓捐赠、社区志工以及环保站。请您用心感受心地风光，祝福您生命旅程丰盈美好，感恩。本列车只有提供健康营养的素食便当。如果你无想要
So
吃
just a
素
quick
食，
summary
请您要便当。
as the train of
上
Tzu
到
departs
我们
from
的便当。
the Jinsi abode,
本列
it
车
passes
后
through
站
the
是
four
连
missions
锁
and
最
eight
乖的
eight
中华
footprints
中
of
华
Tzu.
站。
好，真拍摄，因为是中华的片啊，所以对住
And
还
as
是中华。
and as
好，
usual,
那我们呢就来到了第3层彰化站哈。那现在画面上所看到的是当时候彰化20
and
年的一
as
个
customary,
摄
it
影
is
一
also
个展
to
览的
promote
当天现场。
vegetarianism.
那我们全体彰化的师兄师姐所有的家人在外面，我们共同跟着高远师兄唱出了彰化20年大爱。
So coming up to the
1000
third
年。那我们说，如果静思堂金
third
舍是我
level
们慧
in
命的一
the
个根，
stupa,
那
it
全球的
is
各个静
a
思堂人间菩萨大
representation
道场的地
of
方，
the
也是
Changhua
一个
Jinsi
根
Hall.
本哈，这
So
重要
among
的
the
一个
picture
有
is
形的一个
actually
进展。
a
在彰化静思
anniversary
堂这
clip
边，我们
from
有欢笑有泪
it's a
的
20th
公
anniversary
子
clip
邱兰
in
芳师
Changhua
姐带领我们在
when
这边
everyone
点点
shared
滴滴
and
爱的
sang
故事
together.
不断绵延。
So
那现在我们
if
就一起来看
Jinsi
接
abode
下来的这一
is
段。
the root of Tzu, then each of the Jinsi
这
halls
个画
across the
面
world
呢是
is
也
a
有
branch
一次的星星，
and
当天地温只有
represents
8度，
the
但是呢，我们
ever-growing
有700
Tzu mission.
位的志工，冒着寒冷在这边欢喜过新年啊！
So you can see that from this clip here from 2018 and how
看到有的幼儿
they were
就知道
presenting.
慈济美在，参差不齐。
And when this was filmed, it was actually a very cold day, but we still have hundreds of volunteers get together and to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Now, as you can see, people maybe in different directions that we is bear witness to how the diversity of
好，我
Tzu
往下，因为我看到上面的时钟一直在分秒并进哈。那我们看到了热情活泼的彰化师兄师姐，您看到了，其实上面哦，每一个人这样子摇摆，非常的快乐。像您第一个看到迄个画面，伊吼紧替阮讲话，伊讲恁莫看因即马安尼，其实因嘛做有气质，做有灵魂的啊，就难得看到大家那么的活泼，那么的可爱。那当然。
So you can see everyone here is actually joyfully dancing together. So even though they may seem to be very hyperactive in this picture, they're actually really quiet most of the time. And in order for everyone to participate, we ask people to step out of their comfort zones. And you can see they created these chef's hats as they presented the dishes. And you can see how they're practicing together. And how cute they are.
要抢节拍，好，这次我们正式来多一点秒数。就这样子练习完，等一下马上上场了哦。
A lot of them are actually really nervous. This may be the first time doing that, but we can see how they were still working together. And right after the practice, they go on live.
我们看到铁汉也有柔情哦，巨人的肩膀也会展现温柔的一面，可爱的师伯手忙脚乱。
And as we have seen from this video, that everyone had a different side of them, even though they are maybe stern or serious male volunteers, they also have a very open side and a fun side to them.
欢喜哦，好，那就在这边90几桌慈诚师兄们呢，他们不只要这样子进进出出厨房跟这边来端菜上菜秀呢，还要有这样子的一个演出哦。那我们看到这就是家啊家啊，慈济人间菩萨给予众生带来喜乐，这是进思堂的一个功能哦。
Now from here, there are about 90 tables. So not only are they bringing up the dishes, presenting the dishes, they also have to do this entertainment segment. So this is our home. This is the Jingsi Hall, which could be the home for everyone. And as we see all the kids there, we even have a magic show for them. And you can see how the kids, they don't care about what's on the table. They only care about what's on stage. So the fourth level is from the Sutra of Infinite Meanings, which is kind of based upon the most important excerpts in the sutra. As we learned from the Dharma Master previously, is that those who are the spiritual practitioners, they're not without competition, but rather they're competing for stillness, for calmness. But we learn that how to change our thoughts, we're able to resolve the conflicts. So those who have wisdom will learn to change themselves. As we can see from this clip here, how both of them are competing and fighting with each other, and regardless of what other people are doing to them. We learn that from ignorance could be the cause, and then what we end up receiving or suffering, that is the effect. So how do we clean ourselves of this karma affinities? That is through rinsing ourselves, cleaning ourselves with Dharma water. And constantly with cultivating and training ourselves, improving ourselves through our heart, we learn to relieve ourselves of these afflictions.
来引导您的经济向前行，最后就能够圆满你人生的大愿了。没老师搞讲吼，最后手之不动，100千劫，我们人人都可成佛。就到这里好吗？
好啊，好啊。
So as we see here
我们热烈掌声
in
他们两个很莫名其妙，因为呢
in order to improve ourselves, we must take with faith, vow, and action. Having deep faith in what we do, having creating the vow, and take action to realize that vow.
好，不要勉强他哈。总之。
So, as we all know here, that we really wish that everyone could be a Buddha as well. So, as we see here, all of us here, other people here on stage are all from Changhua.
还好他是有给文字稿的，可是呢，我们就觉得呢，这样子好有能量。有一句话说，自信更显风采。为什么于真这样子讲
we have seen that our translation teams always feeling a lot of challenges because I talk really fast. Now, I think I've met my match today. Fortunately, she has provided the translation team with a script, even though she goes off script most of the time. But you can see here that despite her talking so fast, this actually took her a lot of preparation, a lot of work, because having just thought is not enough to be able to create a presentation. So as she was sharing that each of these materials actually came from the volunteers, the brothers and sisters in Changhua. So, and she was just here to present it to everyone. And regardless of who's sharing today, each one of our segments of our speakers presented a different viewpoint and bring our study group to a whole different level. So here I would like to share with you some of the feedback we have received from our viewers.
就这样趴下去入马桶，因为那个回音，所以你就会有这样的效果。
对对对。
你怎么知道有这样呢？
因为洗澡的时候常常自己在洗澡间讲话。
So from someone was asking how she created that announcement. The announcement, which had a little bit of echo, well, she actually used the toilet. She used the toilet and kind of dunk her head in the toilet and talk into it to create that echoey voice. She got that inspiration from when she was taking the shower, because she oftentimes talked to herself in the shower. So let's give her another round of applause for her dedication and creativity here.
加拿大的管弦，你说用心就是专业，有心自然内行，追求卓越，不为个人，只为法脉宗门，创意无限，重现宝塔，全因师徒情深。余生师姐勇于承担，突破自我，道心坚固，勇猛精进。
And from our viewers from across the world, they're giving all the feedback how they are able to put their mind into things and create these amazing segments, despite none of them were professionals. And it was really quite amazing and impressive. Not only are they closer and meeting with Master's ideal leader, the characteristic of a Master's ideal leader.
大家从这个地方里面去感受到感恩玉珍师姐创意满满，
So could see that the brothers and sisters in Changhua were truly examples for all of us, how they work together in such a short time.
因为你也是要去创意的那个人，所以我就会很注意各地区到底在做什么，用什么。
And we can find that and understand the creativity of Sister Yuzhen.
可是我比较震撼的是。
It is quite unbelievable how everyone could create when they put their mind together. And I was really impressive because I have read everything they presented, but that the use of a toilet to create that echoing voice is still a shock to me.
真的太佩服了。总之，我们最后一题说3个哦，都想佩服。
And we could see there are some of the other suggestions that instead of using a toilet, they could use a big pot as well. And Sister May was sharing that yes, she would not have the courage to record herself in talking to a toilet. And I'm really impressive. I'm really impressed. So let's everyone do it together, show how that we are very impressed how they were working together and share their stories.
这个静好喜，哎，秀珍，你们以后去那个店里可以告诉他们，
And
这个真的